Edgar Scott, 95 years old, Maribyrnong River, walking along, wiped out by cyclists. On the line is one of the cyclists in that pack who wants to be known as Mick. Hello, Mick.
Hi there, Neil.
How
Wish we were
fast?
speaking under different circumstances, of course.
Yeah, it's rough. How fast were you going, do you reckon?
I'd say we were going at about 20 kilometres an hour. And I could
And what
tell
happened?
you why. Well, first of all, we were at the very early stages of quite a long ride, so we weren't in any particular hurry. As it was a long ride, we were trying to minimise the time we spend on busy roads, so we seek out trails like the mixed-use Maribyrnong Trail.
Yep.
And that's how we came to be at this section of trail where we had the unfortunate incident with Edgar. It was a pretty good-looking morning, so there were a lot of people about. There were quite a few joggers and walkers, and we came across quite a few of them, and we have various signals that we make to each other to slow down and to move to the side of the path, and we also give a bit of a holler to the walker or runner up ahead, and we've done that probably 10 or 15 times before we came up to the point where Edgar was, and we did that when we approached him. And it was a bit of a gravelly section of trail, so that also meant that we were probably impeded a little bit in our speed, so that's why I also think we were probably going about 20 kilometres an hour.
Yep.
When we approached him, like I've got to say, to his credit, from behind he looks like a fit young man. Definitely a bit of a shock to realise he was in his 90s later on, but that didn't affect how we approached him. We moved to the side of the trail, and it was quite a wide bit of trail at that point, actually. And I must say, I was at the near the front of the pack, so I didn't see the actual collision, but I think there tended to be a little bit of movement in the trail. It was a bit uneven. I'm not sure whether Edgar moved a step to one side or the other, and I think the cyclist behind me split rather than stay on one side, because it looked like he might have been coming across. It was just one of those really unfortunate things where this is the result. As soon as it happened, everyone stopped, and obviously was...
So you did offer a sit. Was there a doctor with you?
There was. I obviously didn't check his qualifications, but of course one of those things where the first call is anyone a doctor? First thing is this person identifies himself as a doctor. He says to someone else, you get on the phone, call the ambulance straight away, dispatches another two people to go to the nearest intersection to check the road access, because obviously you're not on a road.
So all that happened
immediately, and it was probably 5 or so minutes, and I was standing next to the gentleman who was on the line to the ambulance, having quite a bit of difficulty getting through. And by that stage, I think his name's Michael, the son, had come up with his son, so had the three generations there, and obviously they were in shock, but grateful for the assistance that had been provided.
So did the ambulance ever turn up?
No, I don't think there was a final contact made with the ambulance to give that position.
So it wasn't actually ordered. Okay, well, why didn't the doctor stay with the old gentleman?
Well, this is what I'm not actually clear on. I was probably standing about 5 metres away because, it obviously can be quite crowded, and we were keeping a distance. There was probably 2 or 3 people in addition to Michael and his son who were attending Edgar on the spot. But there was a call made, and I can only presume it was, with the full consent of Michael. I'm not sure about Edgar's, because you wouldn't want to get someone's consent in that circumstance, but there was definitely a call made to not get through the ambulance, to have the ambulance attend the scene. And one further thing, the person who was involved in the collision directly with Edgar handed him his business card and was insistent that if any further service could be provided by him in any capacity, to let him know. And he also wanted to know the state of Edgar at the end of the day.
Okay, well, there's obviously been confusion about who's done what and how. The bottom line, though, in the broader issue of this, it is the cyclist's fault, isn't it?
Well, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but I think there is an issue.
Who has right of way is the issue.
Well, yeah, I don't quibble with the fact that the pedestrians in this part of the trail have right of way, and we were proceeding on that basis and sought to give way at all times. And it is one of those unfortunate situations. I can only hope, if and when it happens in the future, and really hope it doesn't, that the people behave in exactly the same fashion as the people who attended on that day.
Well, the family's very much of the opinion that the cyclist did not behave well.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear from Michael, who was actually at the scene. I've only heard from his brother.
Michael and his sister were very, very strong that the wrong thing was done.
Well, maybe I'm getting the names wrong then. The gentleman who was at the scene, who was
the
Edgar's son,
one who
heard
was at
from,
the scene. The gentleman who was at the scene was not happy.
Yeah, I appreciate he wasn't happy, but if it were me and it was my father, I would be very happy with the assistance that was provided in the circumstances of an unfortunate accident. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Mick is one of the cyclists in that pack. There's a broader issue here, and we'll talk later in the morning to the to some of the officials about this. What are the rules? There is no speed limit for the bikes, and sort of it seems a moral approach that says the pedestrian has right of way. But what is the law, and how much of a problem is it? You know, let me know.